Hello everyone and welcome again. So in this video I'm going to be talking about how to build genuine self-esteem. One that is unshakable, secure, and not based on some shallow belief that you're better. We all live in a society now that we're taught that having money, being beautiful, attaining status are all things that we should be confident and we should be proud of. However, these are things that are basically on a scale. So we have low status, we have low income, and it's all relative. And no matter how high you do reach that status or how much money you have, you'll always have somebody above you. So why are people that are well off, let's say, so confident when there are so many people that are better off than they are? And that has to do with a societal trick that usually is believed by many of us. So we all buy into this and then we pump each other up by boosting how much money we have or how high a status or how recognized we are in society. And I would say that these things are very fragile as far as having confidence, because it's not something that we can say that we are really better at the end. Because, like I said, there are always some people that are higher up and in this scale than we are. So, how do we go about building confidence that's going to be unshakable and secure, and it's not going to be fragile? Society would want us to say that, well, if you're beautiful, then you should have self-esteem because it's something that we value in society. But what happens if we ever get old or an accident, a very disastrous accident happens to us and we become disfigured? Then if we would have put all our self-worth in our looks, what is going to happen to our self-esteem at that point? And it doesn't take a genius to figure out that we would eventually be very, very sad, depressed, and we would feel that we do not have much worth. So that's why I say that beauty is only a temporary thing. Even if you don't have that accident, eventually you will be old and you won't be able to depend on your looks as far as boosting up your self-esteem. So the same happens when we go trying to achieve high status, or let's say that somebody attains a very high knowledge in a certain field, and a lot of people, they are very confident in who they are because of what they know. But then again, there's something that can happen that would kind of put the stick in the spokes, and we would be very distraught if we would ever lose this knowledge, or our information would be not very valuable in society. So what would we do then? We would be stumbling, trying to grip and find something that we could finally get back on our feet as far as having self-esteem again. And there's another thing that we could do that society would tell us to increase our self-esteem, and that would be to acquire a skill. The same thing will happen. Let's say you're an athlete and you have a very high level, you attain a very high level of performance, and your skill is very, very high compared to the rest of the population. That's fine. We would be very confident at that point. But what happens after we would have an accident or we have a disastrous injury? Then again, we would be lost and we wouldn't know what we have as far as value. I say that because I experienced that in my life. I used to be very much into working out, and I define myself as someone that was good at that. I was strong. I could do things that many people couldn't do. But then I lost the ability to work out because of a shoulder surgery. And what happened to me was that I had an identity crisis at that point. And that identity crisis led to a deep depression for a very long time because I didn't know who I was. I believed that I was damaged goods, that I no longer had worth and value. And that happened because I had all my eggs in one basket. And what I mean by that is I totally defined myself as somebody strong, somebody that was able to work out very hard, and I was doing things that many people couldn't do in the gym. So when I lost that, then I was totally lost as far as who I was and what I had as far as value. So that's why if somebody would go ahead and try to build their confidence and only focus on one or a couple of things, there are things that could happen that would make you totally lose all this confidence that you built. Now, I'm not saying that focusing on making sure that you're taking care of yourself so you look good, acquiring skill so you increase your abilities as far as a sport or whatever it is, or gaining knowledge. These things are not bad. They become bad when we depend too much on it, or we base our identity too much on these things. So if somebody would want to have a little bit better, more secure self-esteem, look to diverse yourself, to not have one single purpose that you're good at and leave it at that. So increase your skill at something, gain knowledge, take care of yourself. These things are not bad per se. Is when we become attached to these things, that's when it becomes bad, because if, like I said, if you ever lose it, then you're going to find yourself in deep trouble as far as being able to say I have worth and I have value. So please don't put all your eggs in one basket. And now don't identify yourself simply as somebody strong, somebody good at sports, somebody intelligent, or somebody beautiful. These things will eventually probably go away. And what are you going to do then? Now, in the same way, these things are all things that help us with our security, our self-worth. And another thing that we could do to build your confidence a little bit would be to get into martial arts so you can defend yourself, and you would be more confident and more secure in yourself because of the fact that you can defend yourself now. But then again, there's the same pitfalls as the previous ones that I mentioned about being beautiful, acquiring skill. If you ever lose your ability to defend yourself, what's going to happen after? So what do I recommend at the end? I would say that the best self-esteem would be based on getting to know who you are. Getting to really know who you are. I'm not talking about superficially. I'm talking about deep down inside. What's in your heart? What are things that make you unique? And I'm not talking about a skill. I'm talking about what's your consciousness. I'm talking about what is inside your soul per se. These things will never go away. No matter what accident that will happen, you will still be the same you deep down inside. So that's the unshakable confidence that you want to be able to attain, and that you want to base your self-worth on. It's not this beauty, status, being a pro athlete, being a star, that's going to bring you really safe, secure, and strong confidence that's not fragile. Because at the end, don't we want to have something that's real, not something that's based on fluff? Now you can go with fluff if you want to. You can go and try to increase your bank account. You can try to improve your status or get some plastic surgery done so you look more beautiful. But at the end, this will not give you what you really want. What happened is that you believed in what society told us that we should do, and then you fell in the trap of following what society dictates. I'm going to do some more videos on the societal pressure in the future so you can get to know a little bit more why we do certain things and why we see things in a certain way. A lot of the times we see things not because it is something that we truly believe, but it's because something that was told to us numerous times and we ended up believing it at the end. So in the future, I'm also going to make some more videos on like how to get to know who you really are inside. But I want to leave that up to you for now. You should be exploring what makes you unique. And then once that I come up with a video, at least you'll have things already started. So I'm going to leave a link for my article that I wrote on my website in the description, and also I'm going to leave a link to my Facebook. So if you like this video, please share it. If you have any comments or questions, leave a comment on my YouTube or on my Facebook page. And until next time.